So back over here this morning, we got some rain from the Hurricane Nicole, which is now a tropical depression, and heading this way. It's kind of wet everything down pretty good, but the wind kind of pushes the smoke down today. So I did set the pile on fire, let the machine warm up. I'm gonna go over there and hopefully that'll catch on up, and I'll keep putting some of that dry brush on there and should get a nice hot fire started. And at least the smoke is blowing in that direction. There's not a whole lot of stuff. And once it gets going pretty good, I should be able to start putting some of those stumps in there and just get some stuff burn up today. And I'll just kind of see what the weather does and determine if I want to set that big pile on fire later or not. Let's put some stuff in the fire. Put a few stumps in there, let them burn down, or some brush. The grapple is nice. You can kind of fling stuff out versus, you know, the bucket, because it's facing towards you. When you let go, it kind of more comes back to you versus away, so that's kind of nice. You can get a little more distance on throwing stumps here. Until one gets hung up into the grapple there. Burning. Get it gone. Grab a couple grapplefuls of dry brush. Put on top of that. Still operating with one good eye, so it's kind of hard to see to do delicate stuff. Especially like stuff like this, I can't see. Depth perception's gone. Yeah, I think I'll get this burning good, and I may try to set the edge of that pile on fire. I may wait till I get the majority of these stumps put in here. That way, if the wind does blow back this way, it's not interfering with what I'm trying to do right here. That way I'll quit strolling all this over everything I've already cleaned up. That's gonna smoke a little bit. hard to grab. But it's burning good though, so I can get a couple grapplefuls once it gets burning and lay it over there in the fire, and I think I'll have a good toasty fire. Dropped a time or two. I'm so used to using the bucket, I gotta remember to open the grapple, because I'm still trying to open the bucket up to dump stuff out. Oh, we don't need these hot embers falling on us. Well, that didn't take too long. I think that's gonna burn pretty good. It's cleared up, so not a lot of smoke now. I'm gonna let that die down just a touch, pile all those stumps on. I just come over here and transfer these stumps over. Just trying to pick them up and get as much dirt off of them as possible, and I'll stack that on there and then come over here and grab a few grapplefuls of brush and just kind of keep mixing it all together and keep a nice hot fire going. Try to grab some burning brush and go over here and put it in the big pile. See if I can't get another fire started. Gonna need more than 2 lousy burning logs. can't go over there and grab something that's burning a little bit better. That was when I need one of those fat lighter stumps. I don't have any out here. Get enough stuff here in a minute, it'll get hot. Now we're cooking. There we go. Let that sit for a couple minutes. That should catch up relatively quickly. Any of this dry. We found a little dry pine straw we can put on there, and that'll catch up pretty quickly. That fire's doing really good. I'm gonna put some more of those stumps on there, but I'm gonna go over here and move the dozers because the smoke's blowing right directly towards them. That way I'm not covering them in hot embers and ashes, because this pile right here is going to take off here pretty quickly, and don't need to burn a hole in my new dozer seat. So let's go move those up here out of the way, and once this catches up and gets burning good, I can start grabbing some of these stumps and throwing them on the pile as well. Upwind side of the fire, just behind the pile of dirt. I'll grab this pile of stumps here and put it over here. Everything's really burning down, honestly, a little better than I thought it was going to be for all these wet stumps. But I think mixing all that dry brush in there is really helping out a lot. So keeping everything clean, not so much dirt in there with it. Just kind of sit here and grab 2 or 3 stumps at a time and lay them in there. Then still got a few grapplefuls of brush here and there. Grab that and mix in. That way it's got some smaller stuff to keep burning faster and hotter. Really kind of makes the stumps disappear quick. Plus, none of these are really humongous stumps, so that does help out a lot as well. Way the wind's blowing. I did set that fire on the upwind side, so hopefully it'll push it through that pile there. Burn as much of that as possible, and then I can kind of go through there and restack it and dig the stumps up once everything's kind of cooled off some, burnt down. The stumps still get stuck in the grapple though. can grab all that brush right there and mix it in with it. Get everything cleaned up. Yeah, that's starting to get pretty hot there now. So I went through the settings in the computer here and was able to change the grapple open and close to the same setup as my thumb. So now I'm learning that again, because I kind of got used to the way it was. But I was still, you know, grabbing stuff when I should have been closing it, and I was opening instead. So now I get to get back in the groove of open and close this way. Sort through here and get as much as the dirt out as I can. That pile is burning pretty good. I'm going to go restack it here when I finish getting the majority of these stumps put in the burnt hole. They will kind of cook in that pit and dry out a lot. I can mix some more brush in there with it. Dug up stump. So I'm hoping that will just kind of keep burning through the pile like it's doing, and just nice and slowly, just have a nice good clean burn. And then I can just kind of pick through there and kind of restack it, get all the stumps, because there's still stumps all under that pile, and then get all those exposed, dug up. Stump pile is disappearing really quickly, so that's a very good sign. I'm happy with that. We've not got near the rain that I was expecting us to get, so I guess that's good too. It is wet enough to safely burn, and we got another shower coming right now, but it hasn't been so much that it's just a royal muddy mess. I have noticed that it's a little harder to do a final cleanup, like this little stuff like this. I think the bucket and thumb does do better. But you can't have the best of everything. Alright, looks like we got a good little shower coming. I'm going to go stack that up. Well, it's raining now. It's not really helping the fire right here much. But it shouldn't last long.
So I'm gonna go grab some lunch. I don't think the fire is gonna get out of control as wet as everything is now. That's catching up pretty good. And the burn pit is actually burning really well. I kind of need to get those stumps from way over there pushed over here, so maybe it'll quit raining after lunch. I can jump on the D6 and push those over here where I can throw them into the pit. I'll just have to wait and see. Back from lunch, that's kind of burning through the pile nicely, and the burn pit has died down pretty good. So I'm gonna see if I can't run around here and stack this up and maybe get on the D6 and push all those stumps over here to the pit and get some of those laid in there. We'll see how well that works. It's pretty wet out here, but I'm gonna try. Stumps in here really quick while that's burning nice. See if I can get a good hot fire going. Draw some of these stumps out. Wind's currently blowing away from me, so that's a good thing. It is burning down pretty nicely though. But there's still going to be a pretty good little pile of ashes from these stumps. It just, you got what dirt's left on them. They just don't burn as clean as pure brush does. I can on there quickly. Stumps. So many stumps. I'll just kind of, as it burns down, just kind of keep going around the edges and pushing everything up and restacking it. Majority of that should be gone by tomorrow, I would think. Burning, they're at least drying out, and I'll pile more brush on top of them. That'll really get to burn. That'll be everything from the house lot to right here on the fire, so that'll really open things up. And all I gotta do is kind of root rake this when it dries and get what's left of the little stuff out and burn it. But I want to at least get all these stumps here in the fire while this was burning, because once this is gone, a lot of the little stuff that I would need to have a nice hot fire is going to be gone. So I kind of got to save some of that other stuff to burn when I have the rest of the fires. I got to go through here and sort some of this stuff out. There's a lot of stumps with dirt in them.
So I put the bucket back on to finish out the day. I had to dig up some stumps that I uncovered around the pile. It's just easier to use the bucket for that. Let's walk down here and check out everything. The only things left that's got stumps is this area right here, and that really needs to dry before I can sort through that. Got the dozer nice and muddy today. I still got to do this front half right here. I'll make some piles with that. Whenever I bring the truck over here, I just load that into it and back over here and dump into the pit. Majority of that pile has burnt down good today. So what's left is a lot of the stuff along the edges that had all the pine straw and bark and dirt in it where they pushed it up with the skidder. So that'll smolder down tonight. This is nice and hot. I got rid of all the stumps that I had dug up out of this whole area. Already burnt, and I pushed all those over here and got those burnt. And then the other pile of stumps that was on this side of the pile, I got all those laid up in there and burned as well. So pretty much what I need to do now is kind of sort through that and stack that, leave that dry material for when I get all these stumps dug up. And kind of as I was pushing that up today, I was going through there and digging up the stumps that were under that brush. So I'll come back tomorrow and that should die down to a bunch of ashes. Rake through it, kind of pile up the dirt and roots that I'm going to bury back there in the back, and get what's left of the stumps out. So I mean, the brush was way out here, and I've gone through here and got that raked through, and stumps at it. So all this has just got to dry out before you can really do anything else with it. But at least this big pile is burning down pretty good. So be back tomorrow to get some more done. They're calling for another line of storms to come through tonight, so just have to wait and see how wet it gets.